Hello, everyone. I'm Rob Smith, the Smith in the Black, and if it's Monday, it's the Power Hour Strat time. So, for newer folks, this is where we get everything done, right? So you can get a bunch of studying over the weekends. You get your weekend video. Then we have an open on Monday, and then we meet here Monday nights. Make sure everybody gets up to speed as fast as possible. And if you can't make it, you can always email me questions in, and I usually start with that. Looks like we got a lot of new good people in here, so don't feel rushed to try and do stuff right away until you really have an understanding of what we're doing. The good thing is the learning curve's pretty quick compared to other things. So that's that. So let's take a look at where we are here. Let's start off. SPY, like so many things, working on the outside month. That's still working after last week's 2-2 reversal, right? So that's still good as far as we know. But it's a Monday, so on Tuesday, we see what they do on Monday. Then we see if they want to continue or reverse, because we had weakness in the biotechs and all that kind of stuff. And you also have an outside day in SPY. That's a broadening formation, right? So that's something I'd want to know about, just like the monthly is too, right? So that's how we'll start off. And so I got a lot of emails today, so we'll start there. Otherwise, you guys can start typing some questions in if you like. All right, let's start with the first one. Talking about lost money this week. This just came in on Friday. Been on the right side of trades nearly every time. I get stopped out no matter if I use 10 cent, 50 cent, or dollar stop. So many times the price hits my stop, goes out and then a few cents beyond, and then spikes in the opposite direction. Sounds like you're getting triangled out. I figured out that I should have made more money than I lost, blah, blah, blah. You say keep stops tight. They should just go and walk your stops up and down as it goes. Yes, but you don't have to go immediately. Like if you have longer term signals in force, once you get profitable, you can just let it run. You don't have to be over managing things either. If everything's still working on different time frames, right? So specifically, the FRM in Monday when it was flying higher. Okay, so here's a problem. You're trying to be a ninja. AFRM. So this is today, Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday. Ew. Well, the problem last week is you're 3-2 up, so you're dealing with a try. You're in exhaustion risk, right? For one. So the question is, how are you taking your stop? What are you picking? What is your criteria? Like you'll hear me say you can be a one-trick pony. And Moderna on Friday. So here's a couple problems. Question is why? Right, Moderna outside day, right? Conflict was what conflicted with the week, right? You were month and downer. Another problem that I'm seeing here is that it appears jumping around too much instead of waiting for simultaneous break. So last week, if you were just moving around on what we were talking about, you would have sticking on those 2-2 reversal weeks. That's where you would have been, right? And that's why I talk about the importance of the simultaneous break, right? So it sounds like you're just trying to jump into these movers, and that can be a problem when you're moving around on these movers. You know, with just shorter term signals and no reversals and stuff like that. That's what it looks like here. Also starting with a smaller position. Saying, okay, I'll start really small, then I can let it go. Okay. Next one. Okay. Steve. Okay. Okay. From last Thursday, can you show case study examples how to trade both Futu and Domino's Pizza? Both had huge gaps down, but Domino's Pizza ran up. Futu kept puke. And how to distinguish the difference between finding a gap and trading reversal? Okay. So let's go to Futu from today, puker. So Futu, it's gap down puker, so it's going back a ways now. So Futu, last Thursday it opened, just kept puking. And then if you went to a 60 maybe, It's a little trickier. Just puked and then came back up and fell apart later. So that was pretty fast. That could have been a continuity entry. As soon as that wick goes back red, you can hit it right there. And then today we got a nice one on that too. The 30, as soon as that's done, then anything, once you get a higher high on a 30 or a 60 in here, you're gone. Right? And then it just kind of meandered over there. Domino's Pizza was a different story. Domino's Pizza, that's a 2-2-30 right here. 2 down, 2 up. And the 30 and the 60 gave you the 3-2, which is a little aggressive. And then it gave you the two insiders for the fade and all the way back down, giving you the magnitude to take these guys out, which it did. Right? And then here, there's your 2 up, triangle out, boom, right back down. As well as in here, Rev Strat, looks like. No, took it out, outside bar, so Rev Strat variation, the 1, 2, 3, skidoo puker. Futu was great today, yeah. What a difference a week makes. Okay, next question. How unusual is a 3-bar following a 3-bar, no matter the time frame? I don't see many charts with consecutive 3 bars. Leads me to be unsure of how to play a 2-bar, whether up or down, moving back into a previous outside 3. Well, it happens. I mean, so that's why we're always just playing, until you get reversed on. So Coop did it here. 3-3-3. There's 3 months. It did it there. So it happens. You just have to, we know what a 3 looks like while it's forming. So you just go with that. Because what that means is that the formation series is happening fairly quickly. Because what you'll see is it actually occurs a lot, just not, in 1 bar. That's why we have the compound 3. So it actually happens a lot, depending on how you move your time frame around, right? So all that means is that Browning formation is going quick, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Next question. Can we say SPY is a sideways 2 up month above the last 4 week counts? Yes, you could say that. Yep. If the month started in here, yep, you'd be a 2 above these guys. Correct, because you had 4 weeks that you're taking out the highs. Yep. Next question. Second day in your trading room. In reviewing the trading room course, you mentioned on the flip at the bottom of the hour that the trading pits change out. It's not that the pits trade out. It's just you'll see algorithmic activity turn on and off is what you'll see. And people also, when they have a new 60 coming, it's also their perception of what's going on is about to change. You also have the European close on the bottom of the hour, right? Oil number comes out at the bottom of the hour, so a lot of things come out at the bottom of the hour. And that's our benchmark for the next hour, what we want to be doing. So you'll see there's some days when they just keep ripping, and we can just stay with our rippers all day. And I was like, still good, still good. And then you'll have some where you have a reversal on that 60, and that's a tone change where you'll see something that might just be sitting there doing nothing, all of a sudden drop out and get weak. Because sellers can hold on while the market's rallying, but if it starts turning around, they'll start to dump. So over time, so this is only the second day here. Over time, you'll see it. Now that you know to look for it, there's certain things that will jump out at you now that you know to look for it. And I think everybody will vouch for that. Next question. Okay. I have a question about where it's best to put initial stop and how soon one can move one to break even. attached my entry for UPST. I entered on the 30 break, got stopped out. My stop was under the 5 minute that triggered my 30. I regularly got stopped out at break even too. I'm wondering if I might be moving my stops too soon. You could be. The question is here with something like UPST, right? Why are we trading this thing, right? You're 2 down, but potential 3 I get. You're an exhaustion risk. You're still an inside week on a Monday, right? Those are all problems, right? And so that's why oftentimes on Mondays, I'll say just pull back, don't do anything. We're looking for simultaneous breaks, and that's why when I say something like the biotechs, that was definitely somewhere you wanted to be, right? They were selling bios for sure, right? Now the market didn't give us too much of a give back for them to get more obliterated, but we knew their sellers in there. That's what we're trying to do. So oftentimes people will get too focused on the shorter term without aligning everything together. It's also, when is this occurring? This is a Monday, right? Oftentimes that's a little bit of price discovery. So that will be a little bit of an issue there, that you're just trading something because it's moving, which is good. I mean, we want something that's going around, but those are all issues. And so the more evidence you have, like last week, you could have taken almost any of those 2-2 reversal weeks and they were all good, and they kept on hitting, right? So that's why, like on a Monday, I'm trying to figure out the themes of what they're doing, right? Because that's what we're doing, is we're tracking what people are doing, right? What are they doing, as opposed to what is it doing, right? Treating it like something individual. There's groups in there doing things, so we don't know. But for today, this thing was in conflict. Yes, it could have gone 3 for sure, but it's 2 down, it's inside, and it's an exhaustion risk, right? So you did have some corrective activity here. That's good, right? And it was green on the day. You did have time frame continuity. That's good. But on a day like today, when we're trying to figure stuff out, there's things like, I'll say, are ninja stuff, right? That's pretty much ninja stuff, right? As opposed to waiting for the ones that have a lot more evidence, like the whole sector's going, or or a simultaneous break like the 2-2 weekers that we had last week, which we don't have. So in the weekend video, I discussed one of the problems that we're going to have this week is a lot of this stuff is just continuation, right? We don't have the reversals. That was last week, right? We might get some that I put in the weekend vid to reconfirm that, because while we're sitting here waiting to see if SPY and Diamond Qs go outside monther again, we're still collecting evidence about what's going on. And that's why the second hour on Tuesday we uncouple. And what I mean by that, for newer folks, is that's the first hour of the week where we have separate openings for the monthly, weekly, daily, and 60-minute, right? And that is that gives us more evidence, because now we can identify 4 participation groups by price and time. What is the 60-minute group? What's the daily group doing? What's the weekly group doing? What's the monthly group doing? Right? And are they being overridden? What's going on? Right? So me trying to put you in the right spot all the time can help, because you can loosen your stop if the more evidence you have, right? Or just let it play out and be like, this thing's good, everything's rolling along, everybody in the sectors are 2 up, right? If that makes sense, hopefully. Okay, let's get to you guys, and welcome new folks. Okay. Top of the hour is the top of the hour. One new hour. Bottom of the hour is bottom of the hour. 30s. Just like on an old clock, when the hands are straight up. Top of the hour to you. Okay. No, 10 o'clock is top. 9:30, 10:30, 11:30, those are all bottoms. And can you take a look at Mara? Okay, so Mara. So Mara, per the weekend vid, we got some short-term exhaustion risk. We knew about that, right? That's the problem. So here, Right here, when this goes 2-2 on that 60, gone. 2-2 reversal on the 60 right here. 2 up, boom, outski. And if you go down to the 30, this is a rev strat. This was inside and this was up, and that's rev strat right there. I'm gone. It's all you, right? Because then you can see it faded again. And that's one of the problems when you're dealing with exhaustion risk. Yes, on the monthly, we got a little bit to go here, but in the short term, there was your 2 down, 2 up reversal, your 2 continuation, and you're still trying to continue. All right? So maybe it goes, maybe it doesn't. But when it stops, outski. Okay. Oops. You just disappeared. 1 second. Okay. Question in Roku. On 60. Here? Yeah, as soon as that thing is going to go 3. It's a little tricky and it's a little fast, but you got to, if it works, you get your outside day, which you got. And it was still inside at the week, but you're just starting the week off too. Not everybody's going to be the master of the quick 3-ster, right? When that thing pokes down, that's your continuity entry right there. Boom. And you take it right there, and off she goes. Then here, you got your 2 down, 2 up hammer. Then here's your 2, 2, boom on the 60 there. You're in. Then the 2, 2, boom to finish off the day. Off the 30s. '60s were fast all day. And for gappers, I'm having trouble judging direction, but note that I'm usually coming in 1.1 to half hour in. Tandem. Yeah, tandem. Puke. That's view. That's view. But then, chop shop down in here kind of ran out of steam. But it's still good to keep an eye on. So here, going up here then, you could have taken it here. Just didn't go. Then you ran out of time. You just cover it. That's all. Got stuck. These guys, 4 got stuck in these too. There's a problem with that. But you can still keep this on the radar. And so you always want to go in the direction of the 60s and dailies if you can. And definitely the 60, right, on the gapper, and look for a reversal. So this was Momo shoot right there. Boom. That's aggressive, but it worked. And Tandem was in the weekend vid, but it wasn't in the gapper list. Oh, UPS2 was in the gapper list, wasn't it? Yeah, that's why you were in that thing. My bad. That's why. Gapper list. Just didn't go. Came back. This is where you really would have wanted it. The 2 down, 2 up here. If it's really going to reverse and go 3 on the day, we want that to happen right away. Then maybe it dries up and goes later, maybe it doesn't. Oops, you guys keep disappearing on me. And I know I'm getting a little behind, so if you're asking me questions, I'm catching up, and we'll get to everybody. And give an example of in force. Yes. So let's go to, like, say, last week, like Coop again. So here you can see on the weekly, it was a 2 down, 2 up reversal last week, right? That's in force all week. So long as you're above this, right, that's in force, right? So you got all week to go look for shorter term stuff. And that's why we like to have monthly signals. Then you have all month, right, to line things up. So that's why the flip is also important if you're trading on a shorter term basis. Now you got a new 60 coming. And that's why you'll hear me say, how are you going to turn that around, right? Do you have an X2? What's going on, right? And so in force just means the length that's left on the signal. So in this case, it was a weekly signal. You can see this here too. Two up, two down, boom, all week you can go after this thing, right? And so what I'm doing oftentimes to gauge what direction the market's going to go or the sectors, how many things are in force in what direction. That's going to tell me what's going on, right? That's going to give me a pretty good idea what's going on out there, right? So last week almost everything was a 2 week up, right? And it got better. I mean, it got stronger with that big up day on Thursday. But we already knew about that stuff on Tuesday, Strat when all that stuff, a lot of that stuff had already kicked in. And triangle the odds. So what we know is things trade in a series of broadening formations. So triangle the out will be a lot of stop outs and exhaustion. So you can see this. Anybody who's trying to trade this horizontally and thinking that this is support, yeah, they're gone. Triangle the out, gone. Now, anybody who's short against any of this stuff, all these guys, boom, they're gone. Stop the shorts out. Boom, triangle the out. There's your triangle. And then boom, stop all these guys out again who think, oh no, that's a support level. They're gone, right? And so that's what I mean by that. And so when I say wait for triangle out, that means let's say that we want to be long and buying. What that means is you're going to have a reversal against and then another reversal back in the desired direction of up. So we'd be looking for something like a 2 up, 2 down, but then another 2 up. The 2-2-2-2, right? That's triangled out the shorts on the upside, triangles out the tight stops on the long side, and then we go back up, and the 2 down, 2 up become an outside bar of the first bar. Oracle day 312. I don't expect it to reach the magnitude in one day. Well, it sure could. It's Oracle. Yes. Yeah, now it's a 2-day pattern stuck in there. Yeah, the 312 should just go, hopefully. And it just kind of stalled out. The heck. So the problem here is it got stuck in the mother bar. Couldn't get out of this thing. Now it did drift a little higher all day, but we'll give it that. And you can go with it if it starts going again tomorrow too. It also depends on how big the 3 is, right? On whether you're going to get out of that or not. And JJ, the other JJ. Third day in the room, can you explain listing gappers and what you are looking for throughout the day, waiting for a possible reversal? Yes. So oftentimes for new people, I'll keep you on, 2-2 reversals, 3-2-2, stuff like that if you can get it, right? And so, puke. We'll get out of this thing today. Oh yeah. So right out the chute. So if we just go to the 30s, here, this is a 2 down. It was awesome off the 5 or 2. 2 down, and then boom, these two became an outside bar of all this stuff. So that's what I'm looking for. 2 down, and then back up through, right? Because at that point, the day's green. And so here's something it's also the week because it's a new week. So some people get caught up in continuity. Well, they'll be like, well, it's an inside month to the downside. I'm like, that's true, and it's right on the month. But anytime you have a gap, you might have exhausted the selling, right? Anybody who wants to dump may have dumped. That might be it, right? And that's why you can go either way on the gappers, so long as you get those reversals that you can see on. 2-2s are good to stick with. And oftentimes they go real hard, and that's how you get your outside bars. And then you continue to keep an eye on them to see if they set up. Also, one of the things you'll hear me say a lot too is when you have the gap list, go through the 30s and 60s 20 minutes after the hour and 10 minutes before the top of the hour to see if you have a 30 that's going to trigger a 60, right? If this, then that, right? That's something I'd want to know about, right? Because we're using participation groups against each other. Saying, okay, well, if this 30-2-1-2 kicks in, it's going to kick in a 2-2 reversal on the 60. That's good. That's one thing we'd want. Let me see. Hey, Paul. I'm missing the boat on your saying they have to do something. Right. Can you show me an example of a stock? My thick skull is not getting it. Yeah, so the question is, if you're long Futu, what are you going to do here? Right? You're losing. Are you just going to dump it? Are you going to buy more? What are you going to do? Right? If you dumped it, you were wrong. But when I say they have to do something, it's like when you're losing money, you got to do something. Otherwise, all your money's going to go away. Right? So the question is, what are you going to do? Right? And that's why we try and go against people in losing positions, i.e., time frame continuity. Or like when the market gaps up and it starts coming back in and it gives us a reversal back down, then I'm looking for guys whose stocks are taking out the previous day's lows because they got what they wanted. Right? They got to do something. Right? They got what they wanted. The market gapped up, but their stock starts to tank. You got to do something. Right? And when if you don't, like you either got to stop out, buy more, take some off, right, or ignore it. And usually the guys who ignore it are the guys who blow out on the lows, because just hoping it'll come back someday and go do something else, right? And Rob, if you're swing trading a position, would you add on the hourly, triangulate out on Monday, thinking that might be risky because of turnaround Tuesday? You could. You just don't. You don't have to hold it until Tuesday, though. I mean, if you get a hold of a good one on a Monday and it's nowhere near stopping you out, so it's a matter of how much room you have. And sometimes it is better to wait until Tuesday, but sometimes you'll get the simultaneous break on a Monday where they just come gangbusters, right? Doesn't always happen that way, but. And Fubo. So what do we know about Fubo? Fubo's still an inside month, but getting closer. All these guys have been jammed in here for a while, right? So basically, you prefer it like this. See this? Here's my support level. Is it? Stop them out. Triangle day out. 2-1-2 reversal on the week, right? That's you'd prefer to have gotten it here, right? Then we'll see how they want to mess with these guys if they're really going to be strong enough. So you had the 1 bar rev strat 1-3 on the day, right? And so far it's trying to triangle these guys out. See this? A tight range, and then the question is this real? And these guys. And if this works, you can go take out last month's highs. That's good, right? Because that would be your 2-2 reversal on the month over 30.89. So you're almost there. And so you're going to see this for newer folks. You're going to see this. They triangle them out all the time. Right there. See these guys right here? Stopped out. They're gone. Back off we go. Rev strat style 1-2-2. And these two are going to be coming outside bar of those guys. Take a look at Etsy. What do we know to be true about Etsy? Etsy goes 3 months, so it did its job, right? Now we don't know, right? So what I mean by that is here, triangle day out, take out the lows. There was your 2-2 reversal last week. Now these continued to become an outside bar of all these guys. Now we don't know. It has been higher in the past, but you got some exhaustion risk. So you just came through all these guys. So now you want to stay up there because now you're dealing with a 3. You don't mess around with 3s. But the magnitude has been achieved on the month. It did what it was supposed to do. Now we don't know. And yes, BMTX would be in force all week. Yep. It's in the vid. So long as it's above this baby right here, that's good. As far as we know, we got ourselves a reversal. The 2112 reversal. It's been a little tight, so that'd be my concern. Is usually when they knuckle up like that, more often than not, you get the outside bar first to try and get everybody out. So we'll see what they want to do with it. But yes, as long as it's above that, as far as we know, it's good. And you change continuity of the month back green. Albeit not a lot of continuity there is the problem because it's been doing nothing, but we'll see. And how do you know if long or short is preferred on a stock? The direction of the signals and time frame continuity, right? Where is it trading compared to the opening prices? Because that's telling us who's more aggressive, the buyer or the sellers, right? So in this case, as far as we know, the buyers are more aggressive. They're taking the offer. They're not sitting around on the bid. They're buying this thing, right? Let's go to 60. As far as we know, there's buyers in here, right? And you'll hear the people say more buyers than sellers. That's not true. You have to match up. It's a level. Who's more aggressive. It also helps us identify algorithmic activity because you have to tell the computer what to do, the program what to do. And when you have this condition, they told him BNTX, they told him to buy it, they told him to take the offer, and they told him to do it now. That has to be occurring. There's no other answer for it. And even if it's not, it's people are doing that. People are doing it. They ain't sitting around on the bid. They're taking the offer. That's something I'd want to know about. And short IBM, Chanos. Jim Chanos, famed short seller. He's also short Tesla, though, so they stuck it to him over there. They stuck it to him over there. Don't go on TV and tell people that you're short Tesla. Real bad idea. Trust me on that one. Time frame to look at? Monthly, weekly, daily, 60, 30, 15ers. Some people use more. But especially starting out, slow it down. Don't be in a hurry to lose money. 30s and 60s will provide more than enough. And I think for anybody who was new last week, a lot of what I talked about is patience. Waiting for those setups, waiting for them to happen. I mean, I know I'm talking about a lot of stuff, and it's easy to get the FOMO seeing all these things move around. Hold off. There's times when we know we're right. Right? There's times we're certain. Not like, maybe it'll go. And BNTX, you got that outsider, then Momo Hammer, but you can take it right on the break of. Is that a 3-day or is that a 2-day? I think that's a 3-day, so that was a little tricky and fast. But you can take it on the weekly break right here. As soon as it breaks the week, that goes in force right there. You can take it right there. See if it gave us any good 30s. A little tricky, but 1-bar rev strat 30 here. Then 312 upside. It's a little tricky there too because this was also directional. Stop these guys out. Right? So here's what I'm talking about. When you triangle the out, anybody short, you're going to be short against that and that and that, right? Boom. Go after those guys. Then anybody's long starts to panic here and stops these guys back out. So it wasn't easy. There you go. Just grab it right in the week. Okay. And this is not a rev strat. That's a reversal. This is not a rev strat. Rev strats are 1-2-2 or 1-3. Sorry, I'm behind in this chat. Sorry, guys. If something goes 2 down 3 up. Does the magnitude take out the bar before the 2 down? No. We don't know because it's a 3. The 3 the 3 has completed its job. It's a matter of what more does it have to do, right? It did it. It did its job. Now we don't know. The good thing is on here, you have more pivots on here. So once again, simultaneous break last week. Almost everything did this. 2 down, 2 up. There's no way you're going to turn that around. And so like anybody shorting on Thursday was getting destroyed, right? We knew not to do that because I'm like almost everything is a 2-2 reversal week. And then it got a little grindy, but it's not going down, right? That we did know. That we did know. So yeah, once something starts to go 3, kind of like spine cues right now, we go with it until it goes 3, then we don't know. Then you better stay up there. And here's your daily continuation. The 2 up, the 2 down, the 2 up, right? These 2 become an outside bar of that. Just like we have pivot machine gun, like tandem coming back through the previous range, this is like a shotgun. Boom. Right, these are going to become an outside bar of that. So we look for that, right? So whenever you have a 2 down, 2 up, you just go to the previous candle. That's what you're looking to take out, right? So in here, 2 down, 2 up, we're looking to take this out. And hopefully we get some more guys in here because we also know that we're about to go 3 on the month if this works. And it did. See? So I use this analogy all the time. It's like playing pool. All right? You just don't go in there and say, I'm going to buy it and sell it here. It's like, I got to set up my next shot. If I hit this shot, where do I want that cue ball to be? Right? Is that going to set me up for more? Or am I done? So in this case, you're dealing with the going 3-monther. You got your reversal on the week. So unless that gets reversed, it's going outside month. Right? Then they shake them out a little bit on a Friday, and then boom, they're back in. How do I find gap down? There's no secret sauce to it. I just look at the tape. Some people throw some more in there. Look at the tape, a couple websites, see what's going on. And then that's why I preview them in the morning. Take a look at them. Say, is this thing actually a gap? And that's why the 2-2 reversals and the 3-2-2s are good for starting. You could stay on those for the rest of your life, really. 2 down, 2 up. The magnitude is to take out the previous bar from the 2 down. And vice versa. And Costco. Well, we could use a little triangle out. It's pretty strong. But it's still enforcing. It's still been higher. That's good. 2, 1, 2 reversal, right? Looking for the outside monther. So yeah, I got a little grindy in the afternoon, so you just wait for the triangle day out. They will. They always do. There's your 30, so there's your inside 30. Boom. And also what's going on in the market. We want to see what's going on in the market when we get in here too. When to enter, as soon as things go in force, right? And preferably reversals. Then you can go after continuations later, but as soon as something goes in force, that's good. So, in the TTD, here, as soon as this thing gets taken out, the magnitude is only to take this, right? It's only to take that, but it did it. And if that worked, it was continue 2 weaker and going 3 on the month, all right? Yep. Then you can trail your stop. So everything's going to be customized to each individual because everybody's got different sizes accounts. They have different attention spans. They have, everybody's going to be different. And that's why you won't hear me say, hey, everybody should be on this one. I might say everybody should be in this sector, but everything's not suitable for everybody. Everybody's not going to have an account where they're going to trade Amazon Common or something like that. So, and then exiting, That's why we mined the flip, right? We want to know about that new 60. Is that still good? Am I still in force on the week? How much evidence do I have something's going to work? Right? That's why I'm always gathering evidence. How much evidence do we have? How much help do we have? Am I in an index that's strong or an ETF that's strong? That helps. And if the market's going up and I'm in the S&P 500, that helps too. And that's why I'll say some of these other stocks that are moving around, yeah, you can get some out of them. That's good. But that's, I call them like ninja stocks. People who are really good, know what they're doing, I tell them have at it. I'm like, if you don't, sit back and do nothing. Right? Patience. And do you recommend trading one stock until you get the hang of it? No. I'd rather have you trade one condition. That's what I'm driving home here. The 2-2 gives you the magnitude. Then you don't have to worry about drawing triangles. You know where it is before it's even there. Or the 3-2-2, because that already has the triangle built in. The 3 is it. And just like that first question about 3-3s, yeah, the 3-2-2, when those kick in, there's your compound 3-3. And it happens all the time. If you didn't watch it, watch my interview with Jermaine. I talked about the 3-2 setup exclusively, right? I can even show them to you because we knew FAS here. Where was it going? It's going up here. There's your 3, and there's your compound 3, right? Actually, see what happened to this thing. XEC went away, huh? Conoco. So this is what I'm talking about. If you're new here, where we were, when we were there, and why we were there. Did we know about the last month? And almost every energy was a 2-2 reversal month, if not 3-2-2. We did, right? Now we don't know. Now we can stall out a little bit. But when you have that outside bar and then the 2 down, that's where it's going. We're going to take that out, right? So I'd rather have you one trick pony on just one condition than in one stock. Because another mistake people make is trying to figure out every aspect of the strat and just be the master of everything. You don't have to do that, right? You can get better over time and do more. And knowing which ones are in force and saying, okay, simultaneous breaks, I want to make sure I've got a sector, whatever, that has 80 or 90% of everything in that sector with a signal in the same direction. And you're not turning that around anytime soon. And Coop. Coop Weekly. And this baby right here. And that low was, yep, 260, 250, and down she goes, and down she goes. And you'll also hear me say, back through the try she goes. Anybody long is long against this, and this, and this'n, and this'n, and this'n, and boom. Right? And so one of the reasons this works, we want to come back through, prefer coming back to previous range because at this point, we're red on all time frames. So we know there's active sellers in there. They're hitting the bid. But when you come back to a previous range, you're also stopping people out. That's turning them into sellers. That's good. That's why oftentimes the fastest move is coming back through, not blasting into the highs, right? Also, if you have algorithmic activity in there and they're selling it, the stops remove liquidity. So they have a harder time selling what they're trying to sell, right? Because people are getting stopped out and causing slippages and puking. Okay. Which time frame should we look for a reversal? Monthly, weekly, daily, 60, 30, 15, or all of them? We want to have as many combinations as we can and say if this works, what's that going to do compared to the month, the week? Is it reconfirming it? Is it reversing it? And that's why on a Tuesday when you come in, that's why you're worried about turnaround Tuesday. That's reversal. But that's something I'd want to know about. Just like the second hour is going to reconfirm every first hour, right? As we come into flips. The second week is going to reconfirm what we know about the monthly, starting off the month, right? All that stuff matters. It's all a sequence of what we're going after. And then we don't tell them, they tell us, Right? Where are the twos? Where's the twos at? Over there. All those guys is twos. Because if you ran a scan last week for how many things were two up on the week compared to two down, there's no way the market was going down. No way. All right. If that makes sense. So I don't see a lot of I got it. So I know I got a little behind. So is anybody need to be a little bit more clear on something? And if you're brand new, sit back and watch it. Sit back and just listen to how I'm tracking things, why I'm telling you to go someplace, or why I'm telling you to not. Like mother bar problems, all that kind of stuff. That's where price discovery will start over again. You killed. Killed. And trying to stack the deck as heavily as I can, where, as opposed to some other people out there that might say, here's my two best ideas over the weekend or whatever. Nah, you don't tell them, they tell us. They tell us. And because I can tell you what the market's doing by scanning. I don't have to look at a chart. A mother bar is the bar previous to any one. So once you have an inside bar, that's your consolidation. The mother bar is previous to a one. Observing, good. Because what you'll see over time is like when I'm saying be patient, there'll be times when we know we're in the sweet spot. We know we are. It's like, I don't know, maybe it'll go, maybe it won't. It's like, oh, it's on now. It's on now. Right? Now we got them. Can you elaborate on how we use broader average to influence our actions? I get the simultaneous movement agreement, but when it is in conflict, anything we should keep in mind? Yeah, so oftentimes people will be afraid to buy a stock if the market's coming down, right? And duly noted. But if you got full time frame continuity and the market's coming down, you got a really aggressive buy in there. He don't care. And that's why you'll hear me say something like they don't care. They're just buying stock, right? So that can be a good thing. Also, when you have conflict like in the broader average, where it's just kind of sitting there doing nothing, that can be good too, because that can then the sectors start to stand out on where they're rotating in and out of. Then we can see that. Like last Thursday, you'd think the market's up huge, we're doing great. That was not that easy of a day. It was just a straight grinder. We don't know. Like unless you hopped on some of those weeklies earlier, it was a little grindy. We knew it wasn't going down. We just didn't know how high it was going to go. And so watching that, all of a sudden we know that people are watching it. Right? And so we know that's going to affect their market, their psychology and what they're doing. You might get them to dump out of something that's still good. And if you're ever confused about anything, don't do anything. You should have 100% confidence in what you're doing. Where's it going? Up there. Up there. How do you know? Because that's the magnitude. Unless I got a reversal against me, that's where it's going. Yeah, sure. Maybe in the sweet spot, say, okay, let them open. See what the first hour guys want to do. First half an hour guys want to do, and then because also, let's say like a Futu. Let's say even though you're right. Let's say you were right and you're short this thing, and you see this thing start gunning back, you're gonna cover. You're gonna cover, right? And also, like when I'm doing the strat time report, there's pretty much only one sector that was doing something. So I was still trying to figure it out. That's why I'm all patient. I'm like, it was biotech. That's where you wanted to be. Those were the losers were. The problem was the market was strong. And so that's why when it's a fragmented, when I'm talking about a whole bunch of different stocks and different industries and stuff like that, don't know. Not really sure yet. Gold on the month. GOLD. You're talking GLD itself. Yeah, you'll be there. And are you talking GLD or gold? This thing here, inside day, inside week. So this is an inside month right now. Barrick Gold is an inside month right now. You can't have a one up. You're a one. You're green. Time frame continuity, yes. So if you're not going to be a one, that would be the condition you'd want to be in. Still opens as an inside week after the reversal here. This is where you wanted it. Two down, two up, two triangle day out. Stop out everybody, and then go back the other way. Right. And the magnitude was take this out. Did it. Now it's a matter of whether it keeps going, or does it stay inside month? So right now you might not want to touch it because it's still an inside month. You'd also watch that with GLD, and you'd also watch that with GDX and all the other miners. And I would tell you might want to be AEM still inside. So they're still inside, and gold itself is doing nothing. Gold's doing nothing, right? So you're not getting any help from the underlier there either. Yeah, hesitated on the Roku because SPY. All right. The question was, SPY going to back off at all? Roku right there. Ooh, there you go. Right there. Triangle it out. 2230 right there. Here's where I wanted her. Nvidia. What did it do last week? Here. Two down, two up reversal. If that works, we're going after the 1 bar Rev Strat Monther, the 1 3-ster. Do we have a reversal against us? We do not. Looking to take that out. It was in the weekend vid. It's an every weekend vid. Make sure you get to watch the videos. Making one every night and on the weekends. We prefer to get a triangle the out on something. Yeah, we want to have some corrective activity and then go zipping back through a previous range, just like I showed you on the stopping them out like a tandem. This guy's getting destroyed. He's gonna get killed. Especially here. There's your 2-2 reversal. Boom. And if that worked, it sets up the 2-2 reversal weaker. And if that works, you might get set up the 2-2 reversal month there. You got some month left, but because there are directional trades, 2-1-2 directional. They just don't have as much magnitude, and you need to know what's going on in the other time frames to do that. If you have a reversal on the 30, you can go after a fiber. Not everybody's going to be that fast, but certainly can be done. Like I said, this is going to customize itself to you, and that's why this is good to have on Monday nights. Also, check with me during the day, right? NVIDIA 60. Okay, triangle out at the end of the day, and Doesn't have to daily reversal. It could be a 60, it could be a 30. The good thing is they triangle them out. So if you came in tomorrow and starts running, that's a 222. Now your magnitude is only to take that thing out on the 60, but we're still looking for the outside month there. Take these guys out. And of course, we've been watching that with SMH and all those guys and Qs and what they all doing. And for newer folks, you're going to get stopped out, just so you know. You're going to get stopped out. It's when you don't, right? Because you can see these guys got chopped in here. Killed. Then, right here was nice. Momo hammer, then this is nice. It's when we don't. And you can use it for longer term stuff, too. Like if you're investing and, like you're not going to be banging it out all day. Here, if you got this, 2 up, 2 down month here and never got stopped out, you can let that go to kingdom come. You don't care. You can shop them. I'm in from here. I don't care. Then you can look to buy more. You could, at this point, when it goes up into here, you got a doubler. You take half off and your cost is 0. Yeah, a lot of good questions tonight. Lots of eager beavers ready to learn. The good thing is it plays out so often every day that eventually you see the stuff in your sleep and that's all you see. And for real new folks, then you have to train the spouse. Otherwise you guys have nothing to talk about. It's true. And also why I say, another thing that I say, if somebody asks me if something's a trade, I'm like, if you don't know, then no. Then no. You got to know. Well, just about an hour. I think we can wrap this up. A lot of new folks and got a lot of, stuff to learn, and that's great. The great thing is it's not that hard. Just keep it simple. 2-2s, 3-2-2, stuff like that. And, wait for those simultaneous breaks. If I say patience, I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. Well, I'll get you there. I just got to know what the problem is. I can fix anything. All right? Just got to know what the problem is. Then we'll fix it. Because there's usually only a handful of things that people are messing up. You got it. Okay, so everybody have a good night, and we'll see you bright and early, and I'll post this on my YouTube right away. All right, good night.